don't forget to click that subscribe and bell icon to receive a notification each time I upload a new video. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's very warm here. The temperatures recently have just gone up and up and up, and it is very, I won't say unseasonably warm because we are supposed to be in summer, but for the UK, the temperatures we've been having over the last few days are higher than usual. And according to the forecast, it's going to get even hotter towards the weekend. So they've even issued warnings for the weather. Stay indoors, they're saying. Anyway, so I'm still trying to play catch up with my Heroes and Heroines pages. So it's time to do my heroine for June. I know we're in July, but like I said, I'm doing catch up. So let me turn to my overhead camera and show you what we're going to do. Okay, so let's jump straight into it. So as you've probably gathered from the thumbnail for this video, I have chosen, let's just open the book at the appropriate vacant page. I have chosen for my heroine for June, Marilyn Monroe, born Norma Jean Baker on the 1st of June 1926, which would have made her 94 on the 1st of June this year, had she lived. So there you go. So what I've done is I've already chosen my kind of elements that I want to include onto the page, predominantly movie posters, as you can see from the one from that iconic pose, which was done as a publicity stunt, or a publicity photo more than actually appearing in the film. So that's going to be my base, and I'm going to build up on that. So let me grab some glue. Let's do some grab and go, which is nearly empty now. I do go through glue at a heck of a rate of knots. So, mind you, I did receive a couple of tubs of Yoo-hoo glue, which I don't know what I've done with, which is spirit based. Actually, I've got some there. Let's see whether or not this is still okay. And it is. Look at that. There we go. So, yes, Marilyn Monroe. As I was growing up, obviously Marilyn, James Dean, those kind of characters were kind of like being rediscovered in the 80s, and they were on posters, you know, for your bedroom walls and all that kind of thing everywhere. And I spent a summer holidays. I decided I was going to watch all the films that I could for these characters, for these fabulous kind of actors and actresses, and I watched of James Dean, you know, Rebel Without a Cause, Giant, all that kind of thing, and had obviously pictures on my wall of James Dean because, you know, who didn't? And also I had posters on my wall of Marilyn Monroe as well, and I watched all of Marilyn's films. Whenever they appeared on the TV, it was always an event. Even though they were kind of like oldish films by this time, whenever a film appeared, it was being played. Oh, hello.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I like Marilyn Monroe films. I really like Some Like It Hot.
Yes, you watched it for the first time the other week, didn't you?
I
with
did.
me? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we actually sat down and watched it. It was the first time we'd ever seen it.
Yes.
And
very, very good.
Exactly, and that's
very black and white.
Well, yes, but that was a directorial choice.
Was it Billy Whitelaw?
Billy Wilder. Billy Whitelaw's a lady.
Oh, she was actress, wasn't she? A British actress of the 60s.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, Billy Wilder.
Hi.
Seen a little while. Yes, so we'll get onto that in a second. Yeah, so watched all of the films, and as Ian's just said, we did actually sit and go do a special screening of Some Like It Hot because Ian had never seen it. I know, can you believe it? He's got to his age and never ever seen it. It was obviously one of my favourite films. Very funny film. And obviously Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon dressed as women, just hysterical, absolutely hysterical. You can tell Jack Lemmon really got into the role. So that's going down there. So we've got the iconic pose from the 7-Year Itch, and the draft from the Subway, and then we've got the movie poster for Some Like It Hot, which, as Ian said, was black and white. But you know, colour films were prevalent when that was made, so to film it in black and white was a choice from the director Billy Wilder, and it worked. It worked really, really well. I don't think it would have worked quite as well if it had been in colour, because it was set during Prohibition in the 1930s, the time of the St. Valentine's Day massacre and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, very, very good film. Very, very good film. Touched on quite a few topics, tongue-in-cheek, obviously, because it was a comedy. But there you go. Right, so we've got those down. So I'm going to lay my first bit of faux washi. So, and I've got some film strip to add for faux washi. There we go. So that's going to go just down that middle part there, just to separate those two kind of sections of my page. So yeah, Marilyn Monroe, I mean, there's no real point in me going through any real history or anything, because she's one of those historical figures now where practically everybody knows every aspect of her life, what she did, who she was. You know, show a photograph of Marilyn, instantly recognisable, world over. I don't think there's many cultures that don't know who she is. So there's no real point in me going through any kind of history of Marilyn Monroe. Everybody knows she posed nude back in Mr. Bentley's kicking off now, for calendars and all that kind of stuff. But it was, you know, the photographs of her were used against her will later on. You know, it was just, everybody knows all that kind of history all about it, but it didn't do her career any harm at all. Not really. And when you consider now that appearing kind of like nude in films or in magazines like, you know, Playgirl or Playboy or whatever, doing centre spreads and that kind of stuff, it's just par for the course. I mean, you know, lots of Instagram people, you know, appear with very little clothing on these days. So, yeah, but back in the day, you know, obviously it just added to her mystique, if you like. Right, before that sticks down, I do want to add a little bit of that faux washi just underneath that. So I think the appeal for Marilyn has always been the fact that she always seemed both on and off camera, and the personas that she plays on screen, and also the way she came across off screen as being fragile, has been, you know, she kind of like engenders that feeling that you just want to put your arm around her and take care of her. But of course, you know, a female actress of the time, they were very easily taken advantage of. Some, I'm not saying all, because obviously you had, you know, actresses like Jane Russell and Bette Davis and Sid Charisse and all that kind of stuff, who, you know, were still big names, but didn't necessarily, you know, come from that kind of same background. So there we go. Right, so that's that. So that's those little bits there. So the final bit that I want to add on, obviously, is going to be the main portrait of Marilyn, which I want to put pretty much centre stage, really, about there. And I've decided not to choose like some of the iconic ones, but this one where she's a bit more relaxed, which was a bit more of a relaxed photo shoot, not for any kind of film or anything like that. It was just a portrait photo taken. I don't know whether it was a studio photo or anything like that, but in this one she just appears a bit more relaxed, a bit more herself, if you know what I mean. She's not putting on any kind of character or face, just the look in her eyes. It's just, you know, this could have been taken on a lazy Sunday morning. So let me just add that little bit there. So a little bit of washi over the top of the name plaque, and then I'm just going to whip round the Marilyn photo. Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of beautiful photos of Marilyn. I particularly like the one where she's kind of like looking over the edge of a balcony, looking down on the street below. That's a real nice candid shot as well. The others that are kind of poses and stuff from movies and that kind of thing don't really do it for me, but these more kind of real, candid, you can see behind her eyes kind of photos are the ones that really show the real kind of person. So I think more centre stage up there. I'm going to cover that bit where it says "Some Like It Hot." Just about there, I think will do. So, of course, Marilyn famously died far too young. They say drugs overdose. There's that many different conspiracies about who and how and why she died, that, you know, it's kind of just kind of lost in the white noise of history now. So yeah, whatever and whoever, what the situation was, it was just sad, just very, very sad. I would have loved to have seen how she aged, how she progressed, how she developed, had she lived. But hey ho, another one of life's tragedies, just like James Dean. But there you go, that's going to be my page for my heroine for June. Couldn't be any more different from my heroine, my hero for June. But yeah, my heroine for June, Marilyn Monroe. So I hope you enjoyed watching me put that page together. If you have, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. So hopefully the next couple of days we'll get started on my first page for July, and then hopefully we'll catch up before the end of the month. So that's all from me for now. I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now.
The deedly 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 dum, boop boopy doop.
I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. And don't forget, you can access your exclusive angel-only content over on my website. There's a link in the description area below. Thank you.